Your training series is wrapping up as a new jeweler. Today I want to talk to you about customer care and how important service is. Again, Andy Horner says that you can sell without serving, but you can't serve without selling. So the first thing that we want to talk about today is customer care after you have received an order or done a jewelry show. I love to use customer care in terms of text messages now. We used to do these as phone calls, and you still can. It's a wonderful opportunity to make more contact with your customers. But Premier is very different. I know you've probably learned that through this training series and being a Premier Jewelry Lady. And customer care and service is really one of our hallmarks. It's something that's so important to Premier. So this is something I really want to encourage you to do in your business. And if you're busy, just like me and most of the jewelers in Premier, probably all of them, texting is a viable option, and it is personal nowadays. Customer care is going to be after you have held your jewelry show. So we have done all of our coaching things. We have actually shown up and done the show. Now we've sent a thank you off to our hostess. That's the first care thing that you want to do. I have a little text that I've made up that tells her she gets 20% off at the shows that were booked from her jewelry show, and thanking her for having me over at her home. So your first customer care is to your hostess, thanking her. You can even write a handwritten note, leave it on her table before you leave, or drop it in the mail the day after the show. Then getting your show closed out and submitted is so important. If we are serving people by making calls, but we're not following through with submitting our orders in a timely fashion and closing them out with our hostesses in a timely fashion, then all of the contact we make isn't going to matter because it doesn't match up with our actions. So make sure your actions are in place. Being gracious and being grateful when you're there at the show, and then making sure to get that order closed out within 2 to 3 business days after the show is held, and get it submitted, get it turned into Premier. It breaks our heart to hear Premier say that they actually receive thousands of shows every month that have been held sometimes almost a month prior to when they're submitted. Oh, that's heartbreaking. So let's not be part of that statistic. So now we're moving on your tracker to your customer care. The first thing is the day after the jewelry show. Now I use this as an excellent opportunity in case there was someone that got home and she started thinking about Premier in some way. She might have thought about the business opportunity, or she might have thought about hostessing a jewelry show of her own. So I send out a text to everyone, or you could make a phone call or send an email to everyone that came to the show and all of the pre-orders. And it says, thank you for coming to Dawn's Premier Jewelry Show. She's already won $210 in free jewelry and 6 half-priced items. And I've made $203 too. Have you thought about Premier since the show? Listen to this 14-minute call, and the call information's there, and text me the password, and you can order another item at half price before we close her show tomorrow. Thank you for letting me serve you, your favorite jewelry lady, Sarah. And occasionally I will hear back from ladies that have listened to the information, or they'll respond to how much free jewelry Dawn already has. Then when the order ships out, you get an email from Premier. This is my cue to send the next text. And it says, very simply, your jewelry shipped yesterday. Your hostess should have it soon. Sarah, your favorite jewelry lady. I get lots of responses from that one, so I know they love knowing that that jewelry is on its way. This is so important to set up this next text, which happens usually about 2 weeks after the show, when I know that the jewelry has shipped, has had time to arrive, and the hostess should have had a few days to get it delivered. And I send a text. Are you loving your jewelry? Is there anything I can do for you? Your favorite jewelry lady, Sarah. When I send this text, inevitably I will get one back that says I don't have my jewelry yet. That's my cue to call that hostess. Hey, so-and-so doesn't have her jewelry yet. Are you going to be bringing that by soon? Okay, I'll let her know. I want to kind of keep the hostess accountable to get her jewelry delivered. Before I did this as a habit, I would get a call occasionally from someone who said, I never received my jewelry from that show 3 months ago. And the hostess had just been sitting on it or had forgotten about it. So this is accountability to my hostess. This is something that we can't control, and it's when our hostesses deliver their jewelry. So helping with this customer care keeps it accountable and lets the customer know that you're serving them promptly. Then 45 days after the jewelry show, I have a little reminder here for myself. I write those dates in so I can keep track. 45 days after I submitted that show, I want to send this last text. And it says, can you believe Dawn's show was a month and a half ago? How's your jewelry? I want to take care of any service needs for you before 60 days passes so I can save you $5 shipping. Premier will always replace defective jewelry for just $5 after 60 days, and it is always my pleasure to serve you. Sarah, your favorite jewelry lady. Wouldn't you love to get a little response from everyone you shopped with like that? Your customers are going to love those, and they're not intrusive. You're always sharing with them something. The jewelry's on its way. How is your jewelry? Let me save you some money if there's any problem right now. Can I serve you? And that's going to make an impact on your business. So I encourage you to do customer care. Now, the last part of customer care I want to talk to you about is the replacement exchange program. Do you know that the average return rate at Premier is 3% or less? That means that 97% of the jewelry that you sell or give away, you will never see again. But there is that 3%. People that are going to have ordered the wrong size ring, or the earrings are bigger than they thought, or the necklace is a little heavy, or the bracelet doesn't fit, or a stone came out, or the clasp was broken. All of those things happen. And this is an opportunity to serve, an opportunity for you to smile, to take care of their problem, and to have a customer for life. They will love you for the week when you were a great jewelry lady at their jewelry show, or at their friend's jewelry show, or their daughter-in-law's jewelry show. They'll love you for life if they've had to bring something back, and with a smile, you took care of it. You said, I am happy to do it. And you took care of it in a timely fashion. You've now created a customer for life. They're your advocate. They're the best advertisement you could have out there for your Premier business. So customer service is an excellent opportunity to serve. I will also let you know I have done jewelry shows because ladies have said, I love that you took care of this. I'd love to do a jewelry show. And I've gotten another booking on my calendar. That's not why I do customer service, but sometimes that's a result. I also have sponsored jewelers because I took care of customer service that another jeweler wouldn't take care of, and left them and wouldn't respond, wouldn't take care of it. And I ended up sponsoring that person into Premier because I took care of their customer service. Again, it's not the reason we do it. We serve to serve. But sometimes when you serve, you're going to get something in return also. Don't expect it, but sometimes it happens. So to do a replacement exchange is very simple. You go to the Premier website, and under orders, you select replacement exchange. There are two things that you can do on this order. One is a replacement and one is an exchange. A replacement is when the piece is broken or defective and they want exactly the same piece. That's at the top of the form. You're going to see a tutorial here to remind you of this anytime you need to. That is entering the item number and having Premier send exactly the same item back. The second is an exchange. That's the ring size was incorrect and you need a different ring size, or they want a totally different piece, or maybe the piece is defective but it's retired and not available, so now they get to choose a new piece. You do want to make sure you have the piece of jewelry in hand when you do this, and you want to make sure that you have collected the $5 plus tax from them, unless there's some extenuating circumstance that you've decided to pay it for them, but you need to collect that from them before you do this order. Just like we don't place orders with Premier until we've been paid, I would really recommend that you don't do replacement exchange orders until you have jewelry and payment in hand. This is going to save you some heartache later, and it'll help you to go and get that taken care of right away too. So now you've filled out this order, entered your credit card information or debit card, which they'll require whether there's a zero balance or not, just in case we don't get the jewelry back in time. Then you're going to print off that sheet, attach it with the piece of jewelry. I just use the Premier little Ziploc baggies that every piece of jewelry comes in. I save those, put the broken piece of jewelry and that form printed out, and then I save those up for about 2 or 3 weeks. and I might end up with 3 or 4 of those laying there over that time frame, and then I'll put them all together and mail them off at the same time to save some postage and save myself some time. I can go to the post office one time and mail off several at a time, but all of those are in hand. You'll get emails from Premier reminding you that your replacements are due within a certain number of days. But they're very simple. They take you just minutes to fill out and take care of, and you will have customers for life. You are set to serve with care all of these customers you're creating from your jewelry shows.